Hey folks, welcome back to the Social Media Stewards F1 podcast, episode 7. I'm Ray, I'm joined by Mark, and it is time to shake off the Shakedown. It's been Shakedown week in Barcelona, and whilst we didn't get a lot of info, there were little bits that we can go over. It was a closed test, wasn't it? But so there's only limited stuff that kind of come out of it.
Yeah, we're only allowed to know what they want us to know, effectively.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's face it, I mean, it was nice to hear the F1 cars roar to life again.
It was.
And, we've been so lonely over the cold winter, not seeing these cars. It's nice to start getting excited about it again.
Yeah, it's thing is like you're getting close to the start of the season once the shakedown tests come in and the early testing. So it's good to actually be able to, as you say, hear the cars, see the cars, get our first look at some of the cars that hadn't been revealed prior, which we'll dive into a little bit later. But
yes, definitely.
We're going to run it through team by team. Obviously, there's some news we'll cover afterwards, but we'll go through the shakedown rather than doing day 1 to day 5. We're going to do it team by team and just kind of go over it because some teams there might not be much to say. So starting off with the current world champions, McLaren.
Yeah, 291 laps they managed.
Yeah, that is.
Which
no, go on.
Well, that always baffles me, because obviously normal races you just think, 50, maybe 70 laps, and then you see things like this, you're like, oh, they can do it. But I just wish we could have seen more of it. I really do. I mean, they've had a few issues, haven't they, with the car, I believe. What was it? Was that down to fuel? I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think...
Hang on. I did write it down. Yeah, fuel system issues, which cost mileage, but nothing to worry about. I would have thought a fuel system issue is something to worry about, if I'm honest.
I'd have been like, well, if the engine needs the fuel, if we don't have the fuel, if you listen to the drivers, like, I was saying to you to you earlier before we started recording, it's very clear, and this is across the board, all of the teams, that all of the drivers have been PR kind of trained for this past week, because it's all. Oh yeah, it was good to get the car out there, and it was good to get it running and kind of get a feel for it. It's a new generation. We need to tune in the PU. We need to tune in the car. And you're like, I heard that from Kimi Antonelli, and I heard that from Piastri, and I heard that from Lawson.
Yeah, of course.
So we didn't get much from like the drivers, but it was like little bits of information that was kind of coming out from like the pit crew, like the pit wall, like the technical like director, like was it Neil Holy said there was like no reliability concerns really. Obviously there was the engine thing, but no major reliability concerns. And you think if you're managing to put 291 laps in over the 3 days they were there, then all in all, for a car that's never run before.
Yeah, exactly. I think one of the main things they pointed out was there's a lot more complexity around harvesting, which we spoke about that in a previous video, obviously, because you haven't got the MGUH anymore and things like that. There is going to be a lot more issues with that to get the power back into the battery, and now the battery being larger as well, 50% of the power. But it'll be... It's hard, isn't it? Because obviously in normal testing, you get to see the information for yourself. Because as much as a lap time can tell you, when you're actually seeing the car on track and you're seeing how it goes around the corner, how it goes down the straights, and you can make up your own mind, can't you? Whereas when you're just being told stuff by the teams themselves, no driver's going to come out to the PR and go, oh, by the way, our car's rubbish. They're not going to do that.
Handles like a bag of spanners. Like,
yeah, exactly. Half of the testing looked like we were trying to film Tokyo Drift. They're not going to do that.
Funnily enough, you're saying that, right? obviously there was very limited in terms of like what video we saw. It was very kind of officially what was officially released by Formula One and all of that. But the handling, like through the slower corners, especially, a lot of the cars, McLaren included, looked very twitchy.
Yes.
Whereas, like obviously, in the previous era, through the slower cars, slower corners. Sorry, they still looked very planted. Where no, you could tell there was a little bit of oversteer, little snaps here and there. Nothing like too concerning. They were all caught. Like, majority of them were caught. But we'll get to that.
I do wonder how much of that though is because they are in testing. They're not, they're not in a race situation with the car chasing them down, and there isn't really any pressure in testing, is there?
No.
Especially when it's closed, there's no cameras permanently watching you all day. I do sort of think there's very little pressure in that regard. So I wonder when the pressure's on, will those little snaps of oversteer end up being, a massive spin-off and things like that. But I also wonder how much of that is to do with the way they're now trying to harvest it, where in slow corners, they're over-revving the engines.
Yeah.
I wonder how much is to do with that as well.
Well, yeah, because you've got to think if you're applying the throttle just a little bit during the corner and it's already at high revs, you're going to get a bit more than you're expecting. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I don't honestly know. Yeah. It's very much ifs, buts, and coconuts. That is only our theory. I have no idea. It could have just been there trying to find the limit of what can you run through slower corners with this aero. No idea.
In terms of the drivers, though, like from Norris, like nothing in terms of how the car performed, but it was nice. It's nice to see the number one on the car and to be back at it, and to be gearing up for the start of the season. Piastri. It was interesting because if you watch the kind of what happened on day 4 on the official Formula One website, you watch that video. In the snippet of the interview that they show there, Piastri was more concerned about telling people, "Hey, I proved a lot of stuff last season, and I've got more to prove next season." And then he kind of had to be prompted. Well, what about the car? He was like, "Oh well, we're just getting the niggles out," and you go, "All right, okay, PR kicks in." But no, the first part of it was like, "No, I'm not here to play." Kind of, nice to see that we're just in the shakedown, and you're already going, I'm coming for it.
Well, the good thing this year is McLaren won't be in the title fight, so you don't have to give them papaya rules. I've made that clear from episode 1, and it will come true. Because Norris is the only reason Norris has taken the number 1 is because it's the only year he's going to get the chance to use it. I honestly don't believe he's got the skill to handle this kind of car.
Yeah,
I just don't.
Just kind of looking ahead very, very quickly now that you obviously mentioned your prediction on McLaren. For anyone listening, anyone watching, our episode that will be out just before the launch of the season, we're going to be giving our predictions on where we think the teams and the drivers are going to think up. So be thinking about your predictions as well, because we're going to be asking you what you think. And where you think the drivers are going to be, where you think the teams are going to be. And we're going to do it after testing, so we've got a little bit more information.
Yes.
And it'll be fun. And we'll set them in stone, and we'll see where we stand at the end of the season.
I think our predictions will be very different as well.
Yes, I do think so. There'll be a little bit of bias in both, I would estimate.
I don't know about that. Oh, no. I don't think so. I think I know who's going to be first and second in the season, as in teams.
Okay.
But we'll wait and see.
We'll wait a couple of weeks for that one. I think that'll be episode 9, maybe. But moving on from McLaren then, because there wasn't really much else that we can kind of learn from them, I don't think. But then we got the team that did the most laps.
Yes.
500 laps. Mercedes.
That is incredible.
That surprised me.
Yeah.
that's a big chunk of laps to be putting in.
I wonder. Obviously, we're going to get onto the engine issues later, if you like. But I do wonder, with them having this compression ratio trick up their sleeve, whether or not they're wondering, okay, well, it will give us extra power, but what will it do to the reliability?
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's why they've sort of gone, let's do the most amount of laps that we possibly can.
Yeah. So one of the trackside engineers said it's been really impressive from a reliability point of view. All the new systems on the car, it's worked brilliantly.
Yeah.
They put 500 laps in. They've not had any of the issues, it seems, that any of the other teams had, where they've had to go, right, okay, well, we were planning on running this afternoon, but we've got to kind of pull it in. And they've been able to say to Kimi and George, right, here's the keys, go drive it. Like, it feels like they've just been able to get as much time as they can. And their Wednesday run was kind of like a race sim run.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they've got the reliability and they've got that compression advantage, it just comes down to the aero.
Of course.
And I don't think we're going to really see much properly, because, like, as we'll reiterate this point like numerous times as we're talking about this, but it is just a shakedown. You know, you are literally trying to shake the car apart, see what comes loose, and then you try and fix it. But if nothing's come loose, pretty much, the car will run for 500 laps in a week. We'll see more of it in the actual test in a couple of weeks' time, where they can start opening it up a little bit.
You see, I do wonder, because it is literally just a shakedown, I wonder how much of the bodywork is completely accurate to what they're actually going to bring to testing. Because a lot of the shakedown normally is things change. So I would have thought this was mainly a test for the engine and the battery and things like that, and the operating systems, if you like, for things like the active aero and everything. But it wouldn't surprise me if when they turned up at testing, a lot of the aero of the car was quite different to what we've seen images of. It's got to be close.
Yeah.
I think, and I don't think they're showing everything that they've got.
No, I think it'd be that too. I think you're right. I think it'll be close, because you've got to allow the drivers to kind of get a feel. And you can't,
of course.
You couldn't drastically change it, because then you're sending your drivers into full testing with a different aero package. But they're used to different aero packages for different tracks, so there's a bit of flexibility for it. But I think most cars will be close to what they were running. But yeah, I think we'll see some slight differences, maybe in that front wing, because a lot of the cars, there was not much going outside on the end plate. Not much going on outside the end plate. With only a couple of cars like the Haas had anything significant there.
Yes.
So you do wonder if the likes of Red Bull and that, which didn't really show much on the outside of the end plate, are hiding a little something for later.
Maybe, unless Haas are the ones that have got it wrong and it's too overcomplicated. That's the other side of it, isn't it?
Yeah, but coming back to Mercedes, they said, like, other than a few typical gremlins, that it was clockwork. Which, I'm a Mercedes fan, obviously. I that's music to my ears, and it's very tempting as a Mercedes fan to kind of go, "Ooh, we're back." But you kind of got to temper it and go, no. It can run like clockwork now, but what happens when they full engine pace, full aero package? Kimi did say after day one, it is. I think we mentioned this last week as well. Like, it's a very steep learning curve driving the new era of cars. So having the car's one thing, learning to drive it is going to be something else entirely.
I mean, I think I'm not a massive Mercedes fan, but I think Mercedes will be a force to be reckoned with this year. I think they've got a point to prove, having got it so colossally wrong in 22.
Yeah,
I think they're going to come out swinging.
It certainly looks that way.
Yeah, and it'd be nice to see them rising back to the top. As much as I don't want them to win, I think I think they will. No, but genuinely, it will be nice to see a team start to improve again after the rough time they've had.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to see what Antonelli can do as well, because you can tell he's one hell of a driver. He just needs a bit more time, doesn't he?
Yeah. He was my most impressive rookie last year.
Yeah.
And, it could be scary if he's given a good car.
Oh, yeah.
I know Russell, in his mind, he said, he just can't wait to get to hit the track racing.
Yeah.
Which says to me that he's really enjoying the car. And like he's
Definitely.
really kind of focused on, pushing for that first championship. But we said this a few weeks ago, and I said this and I stand by it. I think Antonelli's a more gifted driver.
Oh, yeah.
And if I had the two going toe to toe in a dominant car, I'd put my money on Kimi.
I would as well. I would.
And that's nothing against Russell. He's a fantastic driver. He's quick, but he always finds a way to put a stick in his own bike spokes.
Yes, I think the thing with Russell is every year since he's been with Mercedes, he says he's going to be world champion. And I understand you've got to think that way.
Mm.
But even when he knew the car wasn't good, it was, oh yeah, I'm going to be world champion. I'm at Mercedes. And you think, no, that's not the way that works.
Mm.
It's almost as though it's because he's at Mercedes, he has the right to be world champion. You're like, no, you've got to fight for it,
Yeah.
You don't just get it because you're in America. That's not the way that works. But yeah, it'll be good to see if he is in a fast car. It'll be good to see how he does.
Yeah. If you're one of the other teams and you've watched them do 500 laps with very little gremlins.
Oh, yeah.
And relatively quick as well. We'll come to the lap times later. But you don't want to hear this phrase, this sentence. In Bahrain, we're going to move more to setup exploration, trying to get the car in the right window.
Yeah.
You're like, hang on. That wasn't in the right window. It was one of the quickest cars on the track. It did 500 laps.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear that. And that's why, as a Mercedes fan, I'm like, oh, okay. That's really hopeful. But again, you just want to temper that kind of excitement. It's a shakedown.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Nothing broke. We'll take that.
Yeah.
500 laps. That was insane. In 3 days.
I know, that is incredible.
That's a lot of driving.
They must be knackered.
Yeah.
They must be absolutely knackered.
Yeah. They did it on the Monday, the Tuesday, and the Thursday, I think. So they had 1 day off.
Yeah.
And then backed it up. Coming in with 303 laps, though.
Red Bull.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think the thing is, it was always going to be a bit of an unknown, this, isn't it? With having, obviously, the Ford power unit that they built in-house and everything. It's very much untested. It's only them and Racing Bulls that have got it. But all seem to go pretty well, to be fair.
For the
power unit-wise, anyway.
Power unit-wise, I would say, for the most part, power unit-wise, it seemed to go great. Seemed reliable. 300 odd laps.
There was a slight bit of damage. Hadjar might have gone backwards into a wall at the one place in the track you could get a picture of it.
The final lap.
It's impressive.
In fairness to him, it was on day 2. It was rainy. It was wet. But he did go off on the last corner, which kind of put a hold to Red Bull's whole program for the day. The damage was significant enough that, if rumours to be believed, they had to fly in parts from Milton Keynes. I mean, it looked good. It looked quick. It looked a bit kind of, tentative around the slower parts of the track, but it was raining, which made it even worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
of course, yeah.
But yeah, Hajar. Luckily, he wasn't injured. The damage was just to the car. But part of me was very, very glad.
Yeah.
That we're in the post-Helmut Marko era at Red Bull. When that happened,
he'd be looking for a new job. Yeah.
Because you don't want to get back and have Helmut Marko going.
Yeah, exactly. Watching you.
Yeah. Even if it is just a shakedown or training, or testing, you really don't want that pressure. But Lauren Mecky's like his only thought was like, the car will get rebuilt. Isaac's fine. He's good. He isn't hurt. That's great.
Yeah, I think one of the things the team did say as well was one of the main things they can take away with Max's experience in detail was he's been helping the engineering team for helping what the setup will be for Bahrain, for testing and everything like that. Yeah. And with all the extra information they've had for the simulator, Max will live in that simulator to try and help the car along. You know what I mean? He's a lot of the drivers don't seem to talk much if they ever do go in the simulator, or they don't seem to spend much time in it. Whereas, I mean, Max, he lives in simulators. He loves the things. Whether that's at the factory or at home. So having somebody like that giving very clear and precise feedback must help the team dramatically.
Yeah. Oh, getting 303 laps out of that brand new engine though, like just fantastic. Again, looked very reliable. You said, it's not, none of it's perfect. Nothing on the car's perfect. There's still things to work on, still things to kind of dial in, but they got a ton of information out of it. And then if you can give, as you say, if you can give that information to anybody on the grid in a sim, you want to give it to Max.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is as well, as much as we can have a little chuckle at the fact that Hajar went backwards into a wall, on day one, he still managed 107 laps. So if he's managing 107 and he just had a bit of an issue on number 108, it's not that bad. It's not like it's not like lap 3.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's that's not bad at all.
Yeah, and the fact that, I say, it was raining, it was cold.
Yeah.
Was it the same day that? No, that was day 3. When it was really, really cold, and Russell said it was 2 degrees at the start of the day. On track temp. But you still think raining. It's cold still. Yeah.
Yeah.
107 laps, your first time. Not just
in a new car.
Not just like in a new car, but in a new team with new totally new regulations.
Yeah, that's good going there.
Cracking going. And hat off to Red Bull. Like, it'd have been so tempting. If I'm Lauren Meckies, it'd have been so tempting to go day one.
Yeah.
Right, let's give the car to Max.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But to kind of go to the new kid, go on, it's yours. Go on, just knock yourself out. Give him.
Yeah, I completely
give
agree.
him that huge chunk of confidence to go out in the car first and get the information that they want from it.
Yeah,
that must have kind of buoyed them up a little bit. And yeah, the spin-off's going to have knocked his confidence a touch, but he got back in the car later in the week.
Yeah,
as far as I'm aware.
Yes, I think he did. Yeah,
but no, apart from a little off, I mean, they could have rivaled Mercedes for the laps because they were planning on going out that afternoon as well.
Yeah, they were.
And it was only because they had to rebuild the car that they couldn't.
Yeah. The only other upside to that little crash, though, was we did get to see the hazard lights working on the car, which was entertaining because it's the first time we've ever seen that before. And it was like, oh, look, they do work. I like that. But no, good show for Red Bull, to be fair. Like we say, not too much in the way of data, but it's clearly reliable.
Yeah. which, like, for a team coming in with their own unit, you'd expect them to run a lot of laps. So,
yeah, I would have expected a few more issues in that.
Yes.
I would have expected a bit more time in the garage, and them coming out with, well, we had a few more power unit issues than we thought, and things like that. But no, it seems to run really well.
Yeah. Ferrari up next, I think. Another team with a mountain of laps.
Yes.
444. I don't know if they were just getting all the force for Lewis.
That's what I thought as well. Yeah.
But that car looked quick. Again, just Shakedown, but it looked quick. Like in the limited.
Yes.
But of all the cars that looked twitchy in the slower corners, it looked the twitchiest, I thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even on the kind of drier days.
I mean, having said that, you look at how Lewis has been at Ferrari since he started there, and he's been a broken man. He's been a broken man. I have not seen him this excited since, he had Das at Mercedes. And even though it was illegal, it was legal for the rest of the year. Do you know what I mean? It was like, this is mint. He is very excited about this car.
He said, like, it's really fun to drive. It's a bit oversteery. It's a bit snappy, but it's easier to catch. And and he's saying it with this like ear to ear grin, and you're just like, okay,
yeah.
Now, obviously, I'm a Lewis fan. If they've given him a car that he's excited to drive, it can only be good. It can only be good things. It means it's quick. It means it's because he's not going to be like, oh, it's really great to drive if it's like feels like it's dragging another car down the straights.
No,
but it's a bit exciting in the corners. He looks like he's very at home in it, and I haven't been able to verify this, so take it with a pinch of salt. But I mentioned to you about something that somebody had said from an interview or something when Max said he watched Lewis on track for a short time, and it looked like he was flying the car, not driving it.
Yeah,
and like, if it is true, I haven't been able to verify it, but if it is true, like, that's high praise from Max for Lewis. Like,
yeah, of course,
if you look like you're flying the car, then everything's in sync, everything's going the way you want it to, it's turning in where you want it, you're getting the power down where you need it, and again, just got to temper that hype, Ferrari is so back.
Well, I think the thing is, and me and you've discussed this many times, is that Ferrari could have the best car, but if they haven't sacked all of their strategy team and started with a fresh one, they still won't win. That's the downside. It's not always been the car that's been the issue. It's the ridiculous strategies. It's the race engineers not giving the information that the drivers need. It's been all the little things.
Yeah.
Because I think that's part of the problem is sometimes we do think the wins in Formula One and, the pole positions and everything, that's all down to the driver. It's not, far from it. I mean, you've only got to listen in, just for example, only because I quite enjoy watching them. When you watch the setups between Max and GP, when they go in for qualifying in Q3, and GP's done all the background work, and then Max has to put the lap in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But without all that background work, it doesn't go to plan.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And me and you have laughed over it loads of times where you see Max having a hissy fit, and GP will just say, "Well, do you want to sort it then? Work out run times, fuel loads, tires, all this," and then Max just sort of quietly going, "Yeah, all right, yeah, And it just goes to show you that there's so much in the background that happens in a team, and so many other people that back the driver up. And unfortunately, that's what Ferrari's been missing for years, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like you say, we've said so many times there that if they could turn up with the fastest car, but unless they sort out the backroom, so it just isn't going to matter. It's not going to matter.
No.
No. But Lewis did post the fastest time of the week.
He did.
Again, we're not giving his own. The Ferrari's the fastest car, but
no,
it is. It is like a little tiny bit of a marker that the Ferrari does have the pace. They did say though that they, like the 444 laps, they didn't run into any significant issues.
Yes. Yes.
A couple of little like minor ones, that you got to iron out, but you expect it. That's why you're doing the whole thing in the first place. But no major issues. And they did 440 laps, but overall, the Ferrari engine, not just in the Ferraris, did over 1,000 laps, no major issues.
Yeah.
So, engine-wise, the stability seems to be there. You did mention something yesterday when we were just chatting away, briefly, like with them getting both Leclerc and Hamilton being able to put good times in, and the pace of that, just with the engine, whether they're a different approach that they've gone with the engine with the steel.
Yes, they've gone for a steel alloy head, which normally most of the heads of the engines are all aluminium. And I can't remember which reporter it was, and like I say, I can't verify this, but the way they said it was Ferrari have found that it's got better thermal dynamics. So whereas like you might get a bit more expansion from maybe an aluminium one, apparently it's a little bit more stable. So they can push the engine a little bit harder, which I thought was quite interesting. It actually makes a lot of sense when you think about it. And they think over the long run, it could actually be a bit more reliable as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, whilst everyone's talking about Mercedes having engine tricks, you just don't know, do you?
Yeah,
I'm really excited to see a quick Ferrari. I am. I am excited to see that, to be fair. I just hope, like we say, they can back it up with a good team behind them.
Yeah.
That's my main concern.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about the car itself, and I'm not really worried. I mean, you've got two fantastic drivers there.
Yeah.
As much as it hurts slightly to say that Hamilton's a fantastic driver, he is, and I'll never deny him that. He is an amazing driver, and Leclerc is a fantastic driver as well. So to have those two in the same team is an amazing combination.
Yeah.
So if they've got the car behind them, they could do amazing things. They could run away with this season. In fact, I'd probably say Ferrari have got the best driver lineup out of any team.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I really would.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
If they're both in the mood for racing, definitely, I'd agree.
Yeah. Because Leclerc has won races before, we've seen it. He can put in amazing performances. He's also, I mean, when Max was in his dominant era, he was one of the only drivers that could hold a candle to him, and he can predict what Max is going to do, the way he's going to defend a corner, the way he's going to try and dive into a corner. He could predict it like no other driver. He is very, very skilled. Obviously, Hamilton's done exactly the same over the years. And I think those two, that has got to be the best driver lineup on the grid. And yeah, so I'm excited to see what they can do, to be fair.
Yeah, so definitely. More from a Lewis standpoint, but definitely in terms of...
No, Leclerc. No.
Definitely in terms of seeing them back up there and earning that extra money, as we keep on alluding to.
Oh, yes.
Racing Bulls managed 319.
I just skipped one. Oh, I have skipped one because you skipped it as well.
Yeah, because he didn't do anything.
We'll come back to that one.
Yeah, we'll come back to that towards the end.
We'll come back to that one.
Yeah. 319 laps, Racing Bulls.
Yeah.
Again, if you listen to the drivers, it's just the PR thing. Apart from Lawson did say that these cars feel like there's more that the driver can do to change things.
Yes.
Rather than it kind of like, oh, here's this F1 car that does everything that every other F1 car does.
Yeah.
Just, drive it in whatever mode we tell you to drive it in. And I'm breaking it down very simplistic there. I don't think for a second it's that easy to drive an F1 car. But you get the feeling that like maybe the last era was, well, a bit easier to drive. So these ones, it's like, well, actually the driver themselves are going to make and we said this before, the driver themselves are going to make more of a difference.
Yeah. I think it wasn't necessarily easier to drive for the last regulations. I think it was purely the car is what it is. You deal with it. Whereas with this having, the boost mode, the overtake mode, the active aero mode, I think there is more options for the drivers to get a little bit more out of them when they need it at different points, and obviously not dedicated zones as well, like your DRS zone and things like that. So, yeah, I see what he means. And I suppose if it's a lot more down to driver skill than sheer downforce, well, we have said it before, but it'll sort the men from the boys. And I think he's exactly right. I think that's what the drivers are starting to see now as well. But yeah, again, Racing Bull said they found it very successful, got what they wanted out of it. Plenty of runtime, getting happier with the engines and everything. And as always, the same line from everyone. It's more data for the simulator.
Yeah, they did. They more or less split the laps between the two drivers. But like Lindblad, obviously the other rookie, did 167 laps.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time to put into a brand new car.
Isn't it just
getting to learn, the intricacies of an F1 car? And I only learnt this half an hour before we went live, and I mentioned it to you. Like he apparently only moved from karts at the end of 2022.
Yeah.
So in 3 years, he's found himself going from a go-kart seat to an F1 seat.
Yeah.
And then putting 167 laps under your belt in your first week in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good on him. But again, it was a good test for that Ford engine.
Yes, it was, yeah. Yeah, very good.
Was it nearly over 650 laps between the two teams?
Yeah.
With no engine issues whatsoever.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, as far as Lindblad goes, and you sort of mentioned about how long he's had in karting and then suddenly gone into Formula One. In some ways, kind of like that, because normally whenever you hear of these drivers coming up, it's like, oh yeah, he's been F2 champion 3 years, blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, wow, he must be amazing. And most of those people, I can't even remember their names now.
Yeah.
So I sort of think maybe he's done the right thing. Maybe he hasn't got too comfortable in, F2 and things like that. He's shot up and he's very quick at adapting to the next challenge. Yeah. So I look forward to seeing what he's actually like on track.
Yeah, we've had that in the past. I mean, like Jolyon Palmer, Stoffel Van Dorn, or stuff like that. They've established a name in the lower formulas. The moment they've hit F1, it's just that they're not.
Yeah,
they're not
well, it's because I think so, obviously, I think you're bound to make the association, aren't you? You think F1 is just a slightly bigger and faster F2 car, when actually they are completely different cars. It's colossally different. That's like saying if you can ride a bicycle, you can drive a motorbike. It's not the same thing.
No.
And so, I think unfortunately, I understand they have to go through that process, and it earns them points, and they get a license. Whoop-de-doo. But actually, stop telling us how good somebody is in F2, getting our hopes up, and then it turns out they can't handle an F1 car to save their life.
Yeah,
it's very frustrating.
The chief technical officer of Red Bull, Tim Goss, he said two things that caught my eye. One was we alluded to this earlier again, was part of the challenge of these new cars isn't driving them, it's the energy management. So it's just getting used to how that, when 50% of your power comes from that battery, making sure you deploy it as and when it's appropriate to get the better lap times. But then
of course,
the other thing he said is we've never had this kind of change in Formula One before, and to get out there and just run successfully, both ourselves and the sister team as well, has been really impressive.
Oh yeah,
And yeah, he's not wrong. Both teams to go out, completely new cars, completely new engines, completely new power systems.
Yeah, you got to give them credit where it's due.
Yeah, they've done really well. And just the other guy was Lawson. It was only his rookie season last year. Two young drivers, both putting in a massive stint, both getting all that data. Yeah, it would be interesting to see where the racing bills kind of come out, because that pairing could be brilliant, or it could be, it could be a nightmare, depending. But again, coming back to Red Bull,
go on,
and Racing Bulls combined, not having the hierarchy that has existed in the past there.
Yes,
both those drivers there should get more than enough time to settle in properly into the new car to do something with it.
I think the thing is, with this being the first year of these regulations, I think you'll be stupid to think a driver should have settled in 5 races into the season. Do you know what I mean? You have to give them at least this season to settle in. You have to. We can't be looking at it short term, because I think even the best drivers on the grid will have their rough moments through this season.
Yeah.
Due to, whether it's the active air or whatever, maybe it's in, maybe they can handle it fine, but on the first wet race of the season, it's a completely different animal in the wet. We have no idea. And I think so. This season, you basically just go, you're all safe for this season, but next year anything goes, and that goes across all the teams. I think that's the only way they can do it. I really do.
I just think, obviously, with it being a new hierarchy there, you kind of hope that's the way it's going to be, and you kind of feel like that is the way it's going to be across both the teams.
I would hope so. Yeah. I would hope so, because I think part of what hasn't helped the drivers at Racing Bull and Red Bull is that it wasn't necessarily we expect the best from you. It's, why have you served me lunch while there's a sword hanging over my head? Do you know what I mean? I don't think any driver could actually relax and feel at home in those teams, because they know there's a ticking time clock on their contracts. And I don't see how that's helpful to any driver.
You can almost feel like every race could be your last.
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
So the rookie getting in there, putting in a massive stint, getting comfortable with the car.
Yeah.
And these should both be given ample time to settle in. And it was just another one of those teams that got out, did some running, not massively impressive time-wise or anything like that, but efficient and reliable and stable, and both drivers really getting a feel for the car, which...
Yeah, without a doubt.
Which is really good.
Yeah. Should we move on to the next one?
Yeah, the Batmobile.
Oh, the Batmobile.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Forget how many laps they've done. Forget it for a sec. I'm sorry. No. Look at that thing, man.
Right, let me bring up the pictures, because I've just got the Shakedown bid running in the thing at the moment. But
just look at it.
So, I had to get the images from the official Aston Martin website, so they are just in black and white. But actually, I think it helps to show off the car better.
Do you know what? If somebody had to say, if you used an AI tool and said, "Create me the bad guy in F1," that. Don't get me wrong. I love the Aston Martin colours and all that, but man, that thing looks evil.
Yeah.
It looks incredible. And it's not just the fact that it's all black either. The actual shape of the thing looks incredible.
It's... I mean, we'll talk about the laps in a little bit. Like, they didn't run very long. They turned up on Wednesday with this. And like we were saying, like, all the other cars, you look at the side pods, right?
Yeah.
Which is the thing that's popped out to me straight away. There's other bits which you noticed that I didn't at first, which we obviously will get to. Yeah. But all the other side pods on all the other thing, I'll zoom in on them there, right? All the other side pods are kind of front facing, letting the air hit them and kind of be pulled in. These are angled aggressively, almost like they're kind of pointing up angled. They look, from the front, they look like very, very kind of slim intakes.
Yeah.
But they're actually kind of angled quite far back. And it almost looks, I was saying to you before, almost looks like whatever Newby's done here, whatever's going on in that like Lucius Fox style kind of Batman's technical helper brain of his, like it almost looks like he's wanting the air to come off the front of the car to go over them, for some of the air to fall in, and then the rest to kind of follow along that side pod, which is kind of angled quite aggressively down.
Yeah, I wonder if as the air is going over the top of the pod and going down into it, does that force the car down into the ground? Is that what he's aiming for?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And the other thing that you were just alluding to there, which was pointed out the other day, was obviously in the regulations this year, the rear wing, they've got rid of the lower beam wing. So there used to be the very top of the wing, and then lower down, there'd be a beam wing towards the bottom. So flat wing, and it gave like a bit of extra downforce. Now, that's been taken out. That's outside the regulation this year. You are not allowed it. But if you look at that on the Aston Martin, what they've done is they've put the rear suspension through the rear wing where the beam wing used to be. So it's not a wing, it's the suspension, but they're also angled like a wing. It's so clever.
Yeah, Newey's been cooking.
Unreal. Yeah, he's had his crayons out. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
that is just. Whoa.
It is a thing of beauty. I actually think it's a thing of beauty, and you mentioned this before as well. Like the front suspension rods look higher than other cars as well.
They're on the very top of the nose, yeah.
And then there's a slight detail which is kind of like blink and you'll miss it, but on the engine cover, I couldn't get a rear view of the car, unfortunately. But if you look just where the kind of the engine cover comes down, and then it kind of bulges out a little bit on either side, and they are actually, it looks like exhausts. The small slats facing out the back. Which looks like either they're trying to get rid of some of the air that's kind of coming through the overhead structure. And kind of vent some of that out, which could help to kind of streamline it a little bit more. And maybe even vent some heat out. Help with venting out heat from the engine. But I've been looking at it and I can't find an angle where I don't like the shape of it.
I think the other side of that is it's nothing but angles. It's you know when you half twist a Rubik's Cube and it's all messed up. There's not a flat bit on the car. It's absolutely incredible. And don't get me wrong, the fact that they've left it black hides an awful lot of detail. And that's clearly why they've left it black.
Yeah.
Because you know yourself, you get a really nice sports car and you paint it black and you can't see a lot of the body lines.
No.
So the fact that it looks like that and it's black, I can't wait to see it in the daylight.
Yeah.
In proper Aston Martin colours.
So what I don't get about it though, like, is they turn up with this and it looks incredible, but then they didn't do a lot of lap times and they didn't give them much data.
Yeah, they were struggling to even make the test, weren't they? That's the problem.
So Stroll went out and did a couple of like limited power runs. They actually had the light on the back of the car blue instead of red to signify to other teams that they're on low power runs. So that if anyone was behind them, expecting them to accelerate out of corners, they wouldn't go up the back end of them because they didn't have the power.
I think that was just to notify them they had a slow driver in the car. Like if you have a novice sticker in Le Mans, you know what I mean? It's
but he was in it for 5 laps before he had to park it.
It's because they were terrified he'd write it off. That's why.
Oh, it's like Talladega Nights when for the first time he's back in the car after his crash. He's like that. It's so fast, and he's just crawling around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. But then Alonso did 61 on Friday.
Yeah.
So he got a race out of it. He got a race length out of it. But I don't think we got enough of a look to kind of go, ooh, that's a quick car, or that's gonna. We're not going to see it till Bahrain.
No, but what I would say is, even though Alonso only got 60 laps in the car, he's been very frustrated at Aston Martin in recent years, getting very cheesed off with the team, same way Hamilton has been at Ferrari and things like that. And Alonso said it was very special. And you think, considering you've only been in it for 60 laps, I mean, let's face it, Alonso, brilliant seasoned driver. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to, put the car through its paces a little bit. Sort of makes you think, oh, I wonder if that, all right, they struggled to get to the test, but I wonder if the extra time and effort they've been putting into that car with all the little tweaks and the little special bits of aero, you never know.
Yeah.
It could be. I think part of the big problem is even if Aston Martin have made an incredible car, only one of those drivers will be putting it at the front.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So wherever Aston Martin ends up in the constructors this year, I know this isn't our predictions, but wherever they end up this year, they could have been 2 places higher in the constructors if they'd have had a second driver that was good. That's the problem, isn't it?
It'll be Red Bull 2025.
Yeah.
Where, if Yuki had put more points on the board, they could have potentially become second,
Yeah.
And we do a lot of Lance Stroll bashing here, but we've said this before, like, all jokes aside, he's not quick enough.
No.
He's not. You could give him the fastest car on the grid and he's just not quick enough. And if he was to absolutely surprise us, I would take my hat off to him, but I don't own a hat, so I don't think I'll have to.
I think what might be the upside of that, though, is that if Aston Martin have got an incredible car and Alonso is absolutely caning it every week and he's putting in a brilliant performance and Lance isn't, well, I think they've got to call it a day there for Lance. They have to.
Yeah, we said this the other week. It's got to be discussion time at that point.
It's got to be. And he can take up knitting or something instead.
One thing that Alonso did say in an interview, which was thinking on the Sky website today, was Newey is always teaching us new things.
Yes.
This is one of the most experienced drivers on the grid, 2-time world champion, Fernando Alonso, saying, Newey's always taking us to school.
Yeah.
You're like, okay. So he's very positive about the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, that's enough on the Batmobile, probably.
Should we move on to my nerdy favourite hat? Should we move on to them?
Yeah.
Yes. Ow! I've just need the desk.
That's I wouldn't do that, but that's not advisable.
It's all right. We'll keep that in.
I ain't editing nothing out of this one.
No, I know. That didn't half it. 391 laps in the Haas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yes. Yeah, brilliant reliability and everything. They were quite happy with the car.
They had apparently one minor and one more serious reliability issue on the car side of stuff.
Yeah.
But they didn't really relay much information on that.
No, it certainly didn't stop them banging the laps in, though, did it?
No. And it wasn't an engine side, so...
No.
Behrman did 100 laps on Friday alone.
Yeah.
He must have been just, like, in his element there. Just banging the laps in,
Definitely. I'm kind of looking forward to see what Haas can do this year, especially with them being teamed up with Toyota.
Yeah.
Because obviously Toyota are making the chassis and things now.
Yeah.
I think that's one area they have always struggled with, obviously making their own parts as a constructor. Because I know they've obviously been buying parts off the shelf from the likes of Ferrari and things in past years. Yeah. But now actually being teamed up with somebody, let's face it, Toyota know racing.
Yeah.
So to see them be teamed up with a company that know what they're doing when it comes to race cars, I think they could certainly find themselves climbing up that constructor ladder. And I hope they do. I hope they do.
When you've got... Go on, sorry.
No, it was just, you know what I'm like. I've got a soft spot for Haas.
Yeah.
Always have. That's why it looks like I have two in the background behind me, because they're so lovely.
I mean, of all the kind of middle to low teams on the grid, they've got one of the more decent lineups. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I know I don't kind of really rate Esteban Ocon, but he's better than most at that end of the grid.
Yes.
Behrman, so much promise. I don't think he'll be a Haas for long.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
But if they can both, if Behrman can keep up the trend that he set last season and keep kind of that trajectory going, if the car's reliable, if it's quick, they could, they could see themselves fighting for like that 5th spot maybe on the constructors. But 391 laps is a huge chunk of data, and like even Ayakomatsu's even said, we got a huge amount of data to look at and put improvements in place for Bahrain. So that just tells you that there's going to be a load more sim time for both those drivers. But
yeah, definitely.
They were another team that had to get parts flown in because of one of those issues. But it's they were one of the quieter kind of running teams, really. From the the shakedown, just put the laps in, got the data, packed up, and went home.
That's what the thing is for the shakedown week. That's all they needed. Because even everyone who's done a bit of reporting on the shakedown week, and they've said about Hamilton had fastest lap and all that, they've said it with a lot of excitement, and then said, but having said that, the laps here at the shakedown mean nothing. And you go, yeah, I know, but it's hard not to. It's the only information we've had since the end of the season.
Yeah.
You've got to give us something. We can't help but get excited about this. We really can't help it. It's just in our nature. Do you know what I
mean?
Yeah. But I think it's time for the next team.
Yeah.
With the most boring looking car ever.
Audi. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't put more laps on the board, but then they were having issues with the power unit.
Yes. Yes.
They did cause a couple of red flags.
Yes.
Over the first couple of days because the car had to be recovered. Audi did less than 100 laps over the first 2 days.
Yeah.
So, and unlike every other team, so Mercedes know they've got a couple of other teams running their engine. There's data there. Ferrari know they've got a couple of teams running their engine. There's data there. Red Bull knows they've got Red Bull and Racing Bulls running the same. There's data there.
Yeah.
Same for Racing Bull. Audi only have Audi running. They're the only team they can get data on their power unit from.
That's the issue, isn't it?
So not being able to run it for 400 or 500 laps is a bit of a problem.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, at least with other manufacturers, like we were saying, Ferrari before, in total with all their other engines on track, it's nearly 1,000 laps or just over 1,000 laps.
Yeah.
So you're gaining so much data, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And straight away, well, there's 1,000 laps done on our engines, no issues.
Yeah. So Ferrari was 1,000, Mercedes was over 1,100.
Yeah.
Audi
only doing 243, but struggling because of reliability. It does raise concerns. I mean, don't get me wrong, we don't know exactly what was wrong.
No.
So it could have been things that were really simple.
Yeah.
It could have been things that were horrendous, and they're now cacking it for the season. We just don't know.
Yeah.
We just don't know.
They alluded to several gremlins on the power unit side of stuff. So
yeah,
like, okay, well, you're a couple of weeks out from testing. Maybe, hopefully, you got enough data to get that sorted in time for test, and then you can start actually testing setups and performance rather than problem solving. But yeah, it wasn't the best of weeks for them. Like, both drivers, Bortoleto and Hulkenberg, got out on track, but they didn't really get enough time to get acclimatized to the new car. I think, the testing weeks will be big for the drivers more than the team. I think just getting acclimatized. They did say, like, the team did say they weren't expecting a flawless week, but
I don't think any team was, to be fair.
But
no,
a few more challenges than maybe they wanted to face.
Just a few, yes. But to be fair, coming straight out the gate like that, bringing your own engine that nobody else is using, it's a big move.
Yeah, we said it in the kind of look ahead episode.
Yeah.
Very, very brave of them not to just come in as a customer for a year or two and develop in the background.
And I mean, if they're no more unreliable than anybody else this season, hats off to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a big move, that.
Yeah.
And it shows that you're clearly in it for the long haul. You're not just going to come in and produce your own engine for your own branded car for 1 year.
No.
If you're going to do it, you're in it for the long haul.
Yeah, I suppose the temptation is, if you come in as a customer team after 2 or 3 years, you can be like, well, this isn't really for us.
Exactly. Yeah.
Whereas if you put all that time into developing the engine, you're more likely to kind of stick it out. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Okay, shall we move on to Alpine?
Yeah.
With 349 laps.
Another good outing for the Mercedes engine.
Yeah, another one. Do you know what? I do still like that car. I like those colours. That's really nice. I do like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I think, well, they've basically, they were the Renault Works team a couple of seasons back.
They were, yeah.
And this is the first season where they've kind of ditched that Renault engine and gone back to, and basically gone to Mercedes engine, Mercedes gearbox. So for them, at first, getting that Merc engine in the car and getting it on track.
Yeah.
I mean, 350 laps nearly. It's a good run.
Yeah, I mean, they've said, obviously, they didn't really encounter much problems. They didn't get as much time as they wanted to, but I haven't really specified why.
No.
But they covered, 764 kilometres on the final day? Not bad.
Gasly did 164 laps on Friday. On Friday alone.
Yeah, that's good going.
That man was a machine that day. I mean, they were another team we didn't really hear much of. But again, just getting some data, getting it thingy. But Gasly must have been very comfortable in that car to knock in that many laps on the Friday.
Definitely. I'm intrigued to see a little bit more of Colapinto this year. See if he can get a bit more under his belt.
I reckon it's a make or break season for him.
You reckon?
He's not been massively quick, and he's cost a lot in repairs in his time in F1.
True.
So I think it's a make or break season for him. Oh, when he looks comfortable in the car, he can put up a fight and he can drive well, but he makes too many mistakes. I think in Gasly you've got a very sure hand at the wheel in the other car. If I was looking to fill a mid-team seat, Gasly's name would be right up there.
That's fair play. Yeah,
but I think Franco, he's got a bit of a point to prove this season to stay in the sport. I think.
Yes. I think that's pretty much it for Alpine.
Pretty much it. Yeah, there's not much again. Cool. There
wasn't much to say.
He just came, got their data, and like Haas, they came, got their data, and went home.
Yes.
Next one, I'm surprised they didn't do a lot more laps.
Yeah, I was quite surprised at
that. Cadillac, 164 laps. Gasly's stint.
Yeah.
In a whole week of Shakedown.
Yes.
I would have thought Bottas and Perez would have been chomping at the bit to just smash the laps in, and they probably were. So I'm wondering if there was a few issues with the car.
Yeah, I think, he did say it wasn't a trouble-free experience.
Yeah.
And I think part of that, I don't think obviously it was down to the power unit because Ferrari's been very reliable. I think it's purely down to the fact that you've got a team that's turned up there and it is a completely new team.
And
you think of, it's not just the systems on the car. It's, is it relaying everything that it needs to the pit wall, to the garage, to the, there's so many systems behind those cars. I'm wondering where it was more issues in that way, but they haven't actually specified it. So we're just guesstimating here. But if the things aren't reading properly on the car, they can't really send it out on track. I don't think it was a power unit issue.
No.
But yeah, I would have expected a lot more laps.
Yeah. I'd have been wanting to just get that out every moment of every day that we could. Just gather all the data.
Yeah.
I mean, they've said, every day we're getting more streamlined. The procedures are working well. People are working extremely well together, but there's still loads of work to do. And they're a brand new team. You'd expect that. But I really would have thought they would have wanted to get both those drivers knocking in at least 200 laps each.
Yeah.
And then being able to take that data and feed it into the sim. And yeah,
I think that's the thing. It's like the team principal did say it's only the fourth day that this team has been running. I think that's the thing, isn't it? It is a 4-day-old team really running that car.
Yeah, with a live car. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get that, but like, part of me says, well, you kind of should have been prepared for getting it out. You've been churning through a lot of money for a fair amount of time now to get everything in place, and this was your chance to get all that data that you've been longing for.
Of course,
And we just don't know, because obviously it's a closed test and very limited bits of technical information leaking out. We don't know exactly what the issues were, but it did surprise me when I saw their lap total.
Yeah, of course.
The only team that did less was Williams.
Well, yeah. Nobody beat Williams.
No,
nobody.
Yeah, I think that's kind of rounds up all the teams in terms of.
It does. But whilst we've just mentioned Williams, shall we talk about Williams
before we do that?
Because obviously they.
Before we do that, like, I do have all the lap times for.
We have got the lap times.
Yeah. So if I bring up this little video that people can look at now, as well on the side. So obviously Albon and Carlos Sainz didn't run, but Lewis and Charles Leclerc both in the top 4 there. Like Lewis in first with 116.3. Again, take this with a pinch of salt, everybody. It is a shakedown after all. But Lewis, George, Lando, Charles, and Kimi, so both Mercedes, both Ferraris making up the huge chunk of the top 5.
Yeah.
Lando in third in that thingy. And then after Lando came Oscar, so you've got the Ferraris, the Mercedes, the McLarens taking up those top 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were all, the top 4 were all under 117.
Yeah.
Like 116.3 for Lewis, 116.6 for Charles. Like the car did look quick.
Yeah.
But then, like, you scroll down and you kind of got the midfield, which you kind of expect. Take out the Red Bulls, like you got Alpine, Haas, Racing Bulls, Alpine, Audi, Aston.
Yeah.
You kind of expect that. But if this is to give us an indication, a possible indication, we could have three very strong teams going into testing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? I think more than anything, I didn't take much, obviously, from the times. I'm sort of ignoring them a little bit. I think the main thing that I've taken away from it with Lewis, especially, was how excited he was.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't been. So the fact that he's excited and he's put in a quick time, it makes me think that Ferrari's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas if he hadn't have given us that excitement in the interview, I'd just brush it off as it's just a shakedown.
Yeah.
So I think those two things together makes me think that Ferrari's going to be quick this year.
I think it's the same for me with George, with him saying, like, I just want to get on track and race.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
Well, okay then. Well, that's telling me that Mercedes is suiting him very, very well. But yeah, very much take it with a pinch of salt. But if these do give us any indication, Ferrari, Mercedes, McLaren are all there or thereabouts. Red Bull with Max behind, just a little bit behind. But again, shakedown, pinch of salt.
You see, that's the thing, because what gives that away is you've got an Alpine within 0.12 seconds of Max.
Yeah.
So it shows the times mean nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, well, it's Pierre Gasly and an Alpine.
But yeah. You come all the way down to the bottom, and the slowest one was a 146 in a low power Aston Martin. So we won't go into that.
That's got to be accurate. That was on full power. That was turned up to 11.
Fastest laps per team. So in team order: Ferrari, Mercedes, McLaren, Red Bull. See, and then you get to Alpine, Haas, Racing Bulls, Audi, Aston, Cadillac, and you kind of like, that's kind of maybe moved the top 3 or 4 around.
Yeah,
but that's kind of where I'd see it being, roughly. Give or take 1 or 2 positions for each team, but no, just a quick look to add to the hype for anyone getting excited over Ferrari and Mercedes, but do temper your expectations, people. Do temper your expectations.
I think even in pre-season testing, you can get a lot more information from that, but actually, nothing matters until they're actually racing, because more than anything, yes, in proper pre-season testing, not the shakedown, is you see them in full race spec, full fuel loads, all that nonsense. But actually, until you get 22 cars all in close proximity, all with varying tyre wear, different strategies, and all that, the proof's in the pudding. It's pre-season testing will show you so much, but you have no idea how those cars will work in the dirty air, in different temperatures, in different weathers, it matters not a jot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And not just the cars, but as you said earlier, the drivers.
Exactly.
How are the drivers going to respond in those cars, in those situations?
That's it.
That's it. Yeah. So we want to get you excited, but temper your expectations, people.
Yeah, get excited, but not too much.
Yeah, not that excited. Sit down, be quiet.
So just quickly on Williams then. So obviously Williams didn't make the shakedown because they were having issues with their crash tests on the chassis and things like that.
Yeah.
Which they've now passed, which is great.
Yeah, so the timing of it, if anybody listened to our episode that released last Wednesday,
yes,
and we said, well, they failed, and you'll be going, well, no, they haven't. They passed it yesterday. We record on a Monday night.
Yeah, we do, yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, Tuesday morning, kind of wake up to the news that they've passed the safety test, but the worry is that the strengthening that they've had to add has added a lot of weight.
Yeah.
We still haven't seen anything of the car.
No.
But we should see the livery reveal tomorrow.
Yes. Now, James has given an interview, hasn't he, James Fowles, and said it is the best developed car he has seen come out of Williams so far.
Yeah.
But, you know, we'll see what happens when they get to preseason testing. I'm still holding high hopes. And I mean, as much as we've seen reports that Williams is coming in 30 kilos over weight limits or weight and things like that, you go, I have no idea where those figures are coming from. Who is actually saying that? Is that official? Is it not?
Yeah.
You know, just send your drivers on a diet, that'll be fine. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We have seen nothing about that car yet.
I know James has come out saying, you know, it's the best developed car that Williams have ever seen.
Yeah.
Right. And I've no doubt that it is. Right. But I've no doubt that it is because of what he said when he first took over at Williams.
Yeah.
It's like Williams was still using 20-year-old technology in the factory.
Yeah.
And he's basically modernized the whole structure, the whole kind of flow of developments, you know, all the technology that you use. And so I've got no doubt that it is the best developed F1 car that Williams have ever made.
Yeah, of course.
My worry is, where does it fall in line with all the other F1 cars?
Yeah.
You know, don't get me wrong, they did a cracking job with the car last year, considering they weren't developing it.
Of course, yeah.
So if it is, then it could be up there. Like, that 5th place might be just their stepping stone.
Yeah.
And
maybe. Yeah.
Again, not wanting to continue the Williams loving, I'd love to see it just for history's sake, just for the historical weight of Williams in F1. You know, the glory days of like Frank Williams and Damon Hill and Nigel Mansell and all of that. You know.
More than anything, it's always sad to watch a team decline from the top to going right to the bottom and then stay there.
Yeah,
I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's the same way we've seen Ferrari rise and fall. Same with Mercedes. Same with McLaren. All the teams do it.
Yeah.
But to see a car go right from the top to the very, very bottom is very sad to see.
I think a lot of the times that some of the teams that do that, they only stay at the bottom for a little while before they just disappear.
Yeah,
and Williams very nearly did that. You know, the only reason it's not owned by the Williams family anymore was because Claire Williams wanted to save the team. Yeah. And you know, she had to make the heartbreaking choice of selling the team so that it survived. So just I just for the historical kind of weight that Williams brings to F1, I'd just love to see. Yeah, maybe not a championship season, but just right in there, mucking in.
Of course. Yeah,
but we'll see. We'll get a first look at the car. But we actually get a first look at the car tomorrow. I don't know. So Tuesday, yesterday, if you're listening to this on Wednesday.
Sorry about that. It's very confusing.
Sorry about that. Williams doing it to us again.
Again, yes.
Whether we'll get an actual look at the car. I think they're doing like a digital online launch type thing.
Whatever floats the boat.
Yeah. That kind of tells me we'll see the livery on a mock-up car.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, and I mentioned this to you yesterday.
Go on.
They were doing like the seat fitting for Albon and Carlos Sainz. And of all the parts to blare out that you don't want people to see, the air intake was blared.
Yes. Yeah, the top one above the heads.
Yeah. The one just above the heads, that was blared. And you kind of like, what? You got some newfangled air intake technology or something? You know, like a Dyson just there, just like sucking the air in or something. I don't know. But
maybe.
But yeah.
Could be a Henry Hoover.
Yeah. It could be a new team sponsor. But it did get me kind of thinking, it made me kind of chuckle a little bit. It's like of all the places on the car to kind of blare out and get people guessing. Like, part of me wants to hope it's just the editor trolling people.
Yeah, possibly. I'd do that, yeah.
And everyone's now like, oh, when they reveal this, we need to have a look at that intake.
Yeah, I get you.
I don't think we'll actually see the car itself. We'll see the livery tomorrow. I don't think we'll see the car itself till Bahrain.
No, probably not. No.
And I hope they come off flying.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Whatever they've done with this virtual track testing over this last week. I hope it's worked. I hope it's paid off. I hope that the extra time that they bought has given them what they needed to get the car up and ready and running. We know the Mercedes power unit's good. So,
well, speaking of that, Toto Wolff is having a mental breakdown because people have been complaining about the Mercedes power units.
Yes.
So Ferrari, Audi, and Honda have complained to the FIA about the Mercedes and Red Bull engines finding a loophole.
Yeah.
And which, to be fair, reading into it, doesn't look like Red Bull have come out and said anything. No. They're just hiding in the shadows. Whereas Toto Wolff is having an absolute hissy fit because he sees it as, it's not our fault, you didn't say it first, and it's in the rules.
Yeah. So Red Bull haven't said anything, and neither have any Mercedes engine customers.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, the thing is with this, right? We've said it before. Innovation is bound to happen. And the thing is, it's the same with the way I said before. The rear beam wing is meant to be missing. Aston Martin have just shoved suspension there to effectively create a rear beam wing. That is not wrong. It's crafty, right?
Yeah.
And some of the best cars in Formula One have always been on the very limit of what is allowed because it's innovation.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, if you outlaw all innovation, it's just going to be boring. Now, don't get me wrong. There are things that are blatant cheating. So, like, there's great old stories from the 70s and 80s of old NASCARs where it stated how much fuel the car could hold, so the size of the fuel tank, but then they didn't state the size of the fuel lines, so they fitted 3-inch fuel lines. It actually carried an extra, like, 10 gallons in the car because it was in the fuel lines.
Yeah.
That is blatant cheating. Completely agree. That's fine. But they are legendary cars that are now in museums because of it and things like that. Yeah. And you think, this isn't an absolute cheat. The rules have stated the car's engine must be this compression ratio at room temperature, blah, blah, blah. And they have found a loophole around it whereby when it's up to, race temperature or whatever that is, the compression ratio increases and they get more performance.
Yeah.
That's clever as hell, man. Yeah. I'm sorry.
And it's easily avoidable in the rules.
Yeah.
Because all you have to do is in the rule is state the compression rate must remain at 16 to 1 at all times.
Exactly. Yeah.
There you go. I've solved your problem, FIA. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
But
yeah.
to say at ambient temperature, at ambient room temperature, it's got to be 16 to 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any engineer worth their salt will go, room temperature, you say? Ah.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Make a note of that. Blah, blah, blah. And they'll be like, okay, well, there it is. It's 16 to 1.
Yeah.
Don't look at it when it's running, when it's at running temp, because it's 18 to 1. But actually, you can, because your rules only state that it should be at ambient temperature.
Yeah.
So, these teams that are coming out, I think it's very much a case, and I kind of agree with Toto on this. In what he said, it's like, you're just mad that you didn't think of it.
Yeah.
And there is a bit of that, but all the teams are going to try and kind of rein each other in where they can. They're going to lodge their complaints wherever they can, because, well, part of being competitive is limiting your opponents as well as increasing your own benefits, essentially.
The thing is with this, I understand to a degree why Toto is having a little bit of a fit about this, but on the other hand, I don't, because it's the way he said it in this interview, and I won't repeat the language because obviously we like to keep it family friendly.
Yeah.
But he's basically saying they need to get their stuff together.
Yeah.
Now, at the end of the day, he's gotten away with it anyway, because the FIA are not going to change this ruling right before the season. Worst case scenario, they will say you can use it for this year and this year alone. And then it has to be corrected. Or they'll update the rules so that everyone can do it for the season after. But let's just be honest for a moment here. If Audi was the only team that had that cheat this year, are you telling me Mercedes wouldn't complain about it?
Oh, they would.
Of course they would.
So
I don't see the point in the aggression in the way he's said it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh no,
because I just think, well, if it was the other way round, you would complain, Toto. It's not like you've never protested against anything on anyone else's car.
Let's say I don't agree with how he said it. I agree with what he said. I don't agree with how he said it. He's a bit too aggressive. But when you're saying about him not complaining, it takes me back to that legendary Drive to Survive scene.
Yeah. Oh,
with
Yeah, I've got it printed out. Yeah.
Yeah, where he's protesting. Oh no, look, here's the problem, and Horner's like, sort your car out.
Yeah.
Like, you're trying to rein everybody else in. Sort your car
exactly.
out. The boot's on the other foot this time round. He was that upset last time, and now he's getting upset that other people are getting upset that they've got the advantage. Right? It's the back and forth of seems to be like the F1 team principal kind of jousting matches. I think they thought of something else. We have to protest it because we didn't think of it, and now it's on the other foot, and he's like, they're protesting us, and I
mean,
I do think they're just mad they didn't think of it, and the only reason Red Bull have it is because, well, Red Bull's chief engine engineer is a former Mercedes engineer. So surprisingly, he's kind of gone, well, I don't know what all the fuss is about. Well, you would say that because you've got the same technology in your car.
Well, of course, because he's been paid a good wedge to sort it. You see, part of my issue, I think, it's not an issue with this. It's just more of a thought in general. You think back to the older days of Formula One. They basically said, if you can build a car, you can race. Now, don't get me wrong, that was daft. That's why we ended up with a 6-wheeled F1 car. If none of you have seen that, by the way, Google 6-wheeled F1 car. It's an incredible sight to see. It wasn't any good, but it was incredible, right? And I sort of think, I don't want to see them limit all of the innovation, because if you make the rules too tight, we're never going to see anything like this where it's like, wow, that's clever.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't want to see that. Now, part of me, we've said it just in passing in years gone by, where we've said, how much better would it be if they said, okay, well, it has to be this kind of aero, but your F1 car has to fit in this box, and you create a maximum length, a maximum width, and a maximum height. And you go, it has to have 4 wheels, and it has to have a maximum power of, say, 1,000 horsepower. But you can get that 1,000 horsepower however you please.
Yeah.
So if you said, if you want a 3-litre V10 or you want a 1-litre with 8 turbos, it doesn't matter as long as you get the 1,000 horsepower and things like that. And, we're never going to see anything like that ever again. Those days are long gone. But what I don't want to see is rules come out in future seasons whereby everything is written to the absolute limit, where there is no chance for any innovation at all.
Yeah, your engine must have this much horsepower, this many bolts, this many screws, this many.
Yeah, well, I just think at some point you're going to limit. What's the point? What is the point? Because it is meant to be the pinnacle of motorsport, isn't it? Let's face it. Yeah. And so you are going to get those things where it's, wow, have you seen what they've created over there?
Yeah.
And that's, I don't want to see the sport reduced to a ridiculous rule book, because let's face it, it's a pretty fat rule book as it is.
Yeah.
Let's not make it that restrictive that we see no crazy innovations that nobody else has thought of. Yeah. That is cool.
Yeah.
It is.
I don't think that they'll change the rules. I think we said this again through the week, but I don't think they'll change it so it'll restrict Mercedes. I think it'll be a case of the other teams will just catch up, and then it'll be like, well, you've all got 18-1 at operating temps now, so go with it.
I'm not sure on that one. I think if Mercedes powered cars are like rocket ships in comparison to some of the others, I think it'll be a case of at the end. Well, it depends how all this all of these negotiations go, but I'm convinced it will be banned in one way or another. It won't be for this season, but I think it'll be, you can use it for this season, but after that it's banned. It has to be 16-1 throughout the operating temperature.
See, I just wonder though, because let's say the Mercedes engine goes like a rocket ship, as you say, right?
Yeah.
But let's say the Ferrari's keeping up with it.
Yeah.
Because of, they've used new technology in on the heads with the steel alloy, right?
Oh yeah.
And then so you rein in the Mercedes, but the Ferrari's still going like a rocket ship because their engine can go harder. You go, oh well, no, the rules are now you can't use steel alloy in your.
Well, no, but the thing is that's not limited though, is it? So there's nothing specifying what materials you have to use, but there is a rule already existing that says what compression ratio it has to be. All they're wanting to do is clarify a rule that already exists.
Yeah,
that's the difference. Isn't it?
I kind of get that, but at the same time,
I understand where you're coming from.
The rule doesn't exist because the rule is ambient temperature. So yeah, I get. I guess that we're not disagreeing here. Yeah. I'm just trying to go devil's advocate in my head with it, and just be
we're completely agreeing.
Yeah,
but it's the fact that we're saying because they already have a rule that states it must be this compression ratio. All they need to do is expand that and put, -B addendum on it saying, oh, by the way, we mean this at all temperatures, not just at room temperature before you fire the thing up. I think that's, it's clarifying an existing rule, isn't it? That's the thing.
Again, I just think if you'd have just clarified it, if you just worded it ever so slightly different how a lawyer hasn't looked over them and gone, oh, by the way, somebody might be able to to play this.
No. I'm sorry, you're thinking of this completely the wrong way. And I'll say this not in a big-headed way, but as somebody who makes parts day in, day out, you're saying that as if the people who are writing and agreeing the rules have ever made a thing in their life.
Yeah. Yeah.
All they have made is paper from a printer.
Oh, yeah.
The worst, let's face it, and I've told you this many a time, the worst drawings you ever get are from people who've never made anything. And it's true,
no,
and it's not their fault.
Completely get you. Yeah.
But the problem is that all these rules are being made by people in the FIA who probably don't even drive their own car. They get chauffeur driven everywhere, and they are as much use as a chocolate fire guard. They do not understand what compression ratio even means. I'd be amazed if they understand what room temperature even means. So having a solicitor look over it wouldn't make a tiny difference.
I just think, like, obviously lawyers are paid the big money to find loopholes.
No.
So, like, so if that was me, I'd have looked at it and gone, so is that just room temperature then? Like, it can go above that at any point without having to know anything about engines or anything. No. Just knowing English, just knowing the written word, and being able to comprehend that there could be other scenarios and other situations where it might not be room temperature.
No, you missed the point again.
No.
Lawyers, no. Hold on.
They're paid the money to think about that.
No. Lawyers are not paid big money to do that. Lawyers are paid big money because you have no other choice but to pay them big money. They're less useful than the people who actually make the parts. It's unbelievable. No, I'm sorry. Lawyers are just a spawn of evil, and they can't amend anything. I'm sorry. No. No offense to the lawyers out there, by the way, but no, I'm sorry.
Angry lawyer comments incoming.
No. If just the lawyers at the FIA, it's useless.
They're not going to listen to
useless. Yeah, they're not going to watch this.
Yeah.
No.
So just to
sorry.
Just to wrap up with a couple of smaller news bits.
Go on.
It looks like Ferrari might have found Hamilton's new race engineer. He's coming over from McLaren, Cedric Michael Grosjean.
Nice.
Coming over from McLaren. So reports last week were that they're waiting on the arrival of him. That was like a few days ago. So my guess is they're just going to get that all boxed off, ready for testing. And Aston Martin have made a new signing. Former F1 world champion Jenson Button is their new ambassador. Now, anyone thinking this is a bit odd, because I don't ever recall him driving for Aston Martin, you'd be right? But most of the cars he's driven throughout his career probably have been Hondas. He was BAR Honda. Braun, I think, was Braun? I can't remember if Braun was. He won the Super GT title with Honda in Japan in 2018. And obviously with Aston Martin having the whole new Honda partnership, I think
Honda, be a good partnership, yeah.
I think Honda have had a part to play in that.
Yes.
And let's face it, he could do a job in the car still if needed. So I'm joking. But no, he's officially retired from racing now, hasn't he? So
yeah. Unfortunately, even if Stroll did retire, he couldn't take a seat, which is a great shame.
Yeah. So yeah, if there was ever one driver I would want in the car in a wet race, Jenson Button.
Yeah.
That guy was just rapid in the rain. But I think that's like the other little bits of actual news. But looking ahead this week, bud.
Yes.
Obviously, and we'll be next week will be lights out for livery season part 3. It looks like, because tomorrow we've got Williams launching their livery.
Yes, finally.
And then next Sunday during the Super Bowl, so on the 8th of February, Cadillac are revealing their livery in an advert during the Super Bowl. That must have cost them a fortune.
Yes, yes.
But it is a very American thing to do. So I will,
of course,
as always, I'll be watching the Super Bowl live. So hopefully I'll get to see that as it's revealed.
Yeah.
And then next Monday, we get the launch of the Aston Martin livery and the McLaren livery as well.
Yeah.
So we'll have a bit to look at next Monday night when we record. Obviously, there'll be some people listening to this who'll have seen the Williams before we record the next one as well. So,
no spoilers.
Yeah. So yeah, we got a bit to look forward to, and then the week after that, it's the first week of testing.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
So according to my timer, it is 8 days till testing. 8 days and 11 hours till testing. Apparently.
Nice.
Can't wait to see the cars on track. And it's been great seeing the little snippets that we've seen during the shakedown.
It's getting me excited.
Yeah, to see them on track again. It's going to be nice. It's going to be good. And we get two tests. We get 2 tests before the season kicks off. And we'll cover as much as we can in the coming episodes.
We will indeed. But before we do shoot off there, obviously, massive thank you to everyone who has been watching us, not even just on YouTube, but has been listening to the podcast as well. And, viewing the short content, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, wherever I've been posting it, really. And we do really appreciate people taking the time to like and comment. And we also like to hear people's opinions as well. We've been having a few comments and things. And it's great to see other people's ideas as well, because some of the stuff that's been coming up, we haven't even thought of. So that's been fantastic. And we do always endeavour, if people make a comment, we do always try and reply pretty quickly as well. So don't think it's just going to be ignored. We do read all of them. And it does make for conversation between me and Ray as well. So maybe at some point we'll do a small episode where we go through a few of the comments that we've had and do a little reply to it as well.
Yeah. And what we'll endeavour to do in the future with the comments, anything we're replying to moving forward as well, is if it's me responding, I'll throw a little Ray at the end. If it's Mark, so you'll know which one of it is that you're actually, chatting to, or which one's responding to you, because we might not think the same thing. You might get 2 totally different comments with
Very true.
One saying Mark, one saying Ray. But yeah, as Mark says, thank you so much for all the support. It's great for such a fledgling, such a young podcast to be getting all the love that it is. So thank you so much. But I do think that's us for the day then, bud.
It is indeed.
Yeah, it's been good to talk F1 again, but I really enjoy doing this.
I know.
But
same here.
Thank you again to everyone who's listened, who's taken the time. Do hit that like button, do hit that subscribe button, do leave a comment, as Mark says. And we look forward to hearing from you and continue the conversation. But until next time, thanks for watching and take care.
Yeah.